Hello again, it's Sunday and we're off for another day out. We're going today to Coochiemudlo Island, which is a little island off Victoria Point. It's only about a 10-minute ferry ride and there's a nice 5-kilometre walk around the island. See the beaches and some trees and wildlife and stuff like
some
that.
trees
and wildlife
and
things.
birds
yeah,
and stuff
and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's about
the
40.
weather is beautiful.
It is beautiful, and it's about a 45-minute drive to Victoria Point. So it's not too far, it's fairly close. And yeah.
Let's get the aircon on, because it is so hot.
Have you not got a funny story for us today? No?
No, I don't think I have. No little interjection.
Sort of, no. Oh well. Maybe she'll think of something on the way.
Think of something.
All right, off we go.
Okay, bye.
This is Victoria Point and we are just going down the jetty for the Coochiemudlo Island ferry. We've only got a few minutes, we've cut it a bit fine, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll make it. So we're now coming up to Coochiemudlo Island jetty. See if I can get a little bit more of an angle. It's a beautiful day. Beach looks gorgeous actually. So this is Coochiemudlo Island. This is 10 minutes off Victoria Point near Brisbane on the ferry. You would be forgiven for thinking that it was a South Pacific island, apart from the water, which is a little bit browner, not quite as blue. From the other side of the jetty, people are swimming. The water must be quite warm actually, because people are swimming today and people on the beach.
So look, we can go that way. Picnic areas. Picnic areas. Where are you going?
Yeah, there are a few picnic areas. Have we got?
This looks like it's looks like that means barbecue. Yeah.
You got a barbecue?
Barbecue, barbecue.
Excellent.
Barbecue, yeah, all round.
Fantastic.
So, you're a lot taller than me today.
you say that in every video. I'll move now.
Just don't like being short.
So we're going to have a walk around the island. We're going to go and find somewhere to cook some sausages and have some lunch. There are plenty of barbecues around here. But what are your first thoughts of Coochiemudlo Island then?
Well, do you know, when we got the ferry over, the ferry's a very short trip. It's only about 8 or 10 minutes, I think. And as we were coming across, and then we saw the sand as we were getting off, and we'll give you a good glimpse of the sandy beach behind us and the yachts in the water. I actually thought, now I know why we moved to Australia, and that we do actually live in paradise, and how lucky we are. And you get, I mean, days like this are practically every day, and this is just on your doorstep, and it's just perfect. It's beautiful. So we'll give you a little look of what we can see from here, and then we'll go for our walk and show you as we go along.
So just off the beach, and we're now, it's a paved path, it's not a track, and we're into a little bit of tree area, walking around the track. I think the track around the island is about 5 kilometres, so I don't know, it's a steady pace. Should have taken what, hour and a half, maybe at a steady pace, but we're going to stop for some lunch and stop and have a look at what is around at the various places on the island. We've actually just passed the Coochiemudlo beach bar. We'll see if we can get a bit of footage of that on the way back. There's a few areas around here. I don't know if you can see this. Let's hop off here. So, area closed for revegetation, and we've passed a couple of these already where something's obviously
storm damage.
Yeah, there's that one. This tree over here looks like it might have been got a bit of fire damage. And what they've done is they've fenced it off in order for it to regenerate, so that people aren't sort of wandering around, which is great. It'll keep the island all nice and beautiful. So we're heading off on the walking track now. There's bollards, the cars can't come any further, but you will notice that, not to be outdone, Alison now has bought a cap exactly like mine.
But it has my initial on.
Because it's got an A on it, so she has
an A.
Yes.
So not to be outdone.
I know.
But mine is one better because it was half price.
It was half price. It was $3 from Kmart. You can't go wrong with a hat at $3 from Kmart.
No.
Let's walk on.
Yes. Can't have a day out with Ali and Rob without a story about our hats or our shoe wear. There you go.
Yeah, the shoes might have been a bit of an overkill. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we'll come across a few rocks that we can say, oh, glad we put these on. But I'm not feeling confident. I think it's going to be an easy walk. Anyway.
So votes in for who wears the hat the best. Who has the... There we go. Oh, look at the pose then. I just caught you going...
Walk on, walk on. We've just found a nice little secluded barbecue area that we were going to stop and cook sausages, but unfortunately it's a twin barbecue. One of them's not working, is the sign saying not working. The other one doesn't seem to be getting very hot, so we will walk on a little bit and see if we can find somewhere else. So a bit of history now of the island. Flinders Landing, Norfolk Beach. Lieutenant Matthew Flinders RN was the first European to set foot on Coochiemudlo Island. Explorer, navigator, cartographer and fine naval officer, he landed with his sloop, the Norfolk, on the 19th of July 1799 on the eastern shore of the island. He called the island the Sixth Island. However, it had been known to generations of Aboriginal families as Coochiemudlo, the place where they obtained red ochre stones used as body decoration and as red pigment for shield and skins. So that's where we are right now, at this little part of the island and the beach. Back over is the mainland, Victoria Point. Now here's a couple in a canoe. I believe you can, Alison said you can hire those back at the jetty, so that might be fun to hire a canoe, throw your bags in and just canoe around the island, stop at the different little beaches. We might check that out and see how much that is and see if it's available. Do that another day. And we've just entered another part of the walk called the Melaleuca wetlands. So I am not even going to try and start to pronounce this, or maybe I will. Yura Ujaru Dabil Jaranu. Welcome to the Melaleuca wetlands. Yes, I'm assuming that it's going to be a nice shaded part of the walk. There's
Can I just explain?
There's a little water thing here, and somebody's left a bowl out for the doggies.
Just a little fun fact for you. In Aborigine, when they have the same word said twice, so here we've got Ujaru, Ujaru, and there's quite often quite a lot of names and place names in Aborigine that have the same word twice, and it's their way of saying very or a lot of. So they say the word twice rather than having that adjective to describe it, and that's why you will see the word repeated twice in a lot of Aboriginal place names.
So what does Oodgeroo mean?
We'll have to Google it. We'll have to Google it, and quite often Aboriginal place names don't have a specific meaning that they can translate, so it won't be something like Little Hill or that kind of translation. It means something quite special to them that's it's difficult to translate, but we will have a look.
We could do, or we could just read it, because I've just noticed that this Oodgeroo is Melaleuca, and as we know, Melaleuca are trees, bushes. I think they're a tree or a bush. I'm showing my ignorance here, so that makes sense to what you're saying. This Oodgeroo Melaleuca sanctuary
means a lot of those trees in one place.
Yeah, there we go.
Fun fact.
Educational as well.
Yes, yes. Okay, so Google has provided us with the answer of what a Melaleuca tree is. So it's an Australian shrub or tree, and it has spiky flowers. So this must be this kind of shrub here, and there are lots and lots of them. And it's some sources they use as timber, and some sources for medicinal oils. That's why it would have been invaluable to them. Well, there you go. Thank you, Google.
Well, it certainly is a lovely shaded area, as was suspected. Beautiful, because it is, although it's still winter. Oh, it's like 26 degrees today, and it's quite hot out in the sun. And here we've come across justification for our walking shoes. So it's not exactly that we need walking shoes for this, but it's a little bit. It's not paved. It's not path. It's just bushwalk. And this is a bit of a contrast to the sandy beach. However, and I'm not sure whether we can see it from here, but if I move over here, you can actually see we are that far away from the beach. So yeah, we could be in the middle of a wetland. Well, we are in the middle of a wetland, but right by the beach. Along this track there are little signposts, little information boards, and I've just come across one now, and it says the summer, I'm reading this, summer rain transforms the wetlands into a symphony of sounds with frogs and insects leading the chorus. And what it's saying is, look on the trails, you see there are wallabies on the beach, bandicoots, butterflies, dragonflies, insects, spiders, other small creatures. There are in the grassed areas, the reeded areas, the carpet pythons, lizards, and at dusk flying foxes feed on the blossoms of the melaleuca and gums, and bats dart between the trees, and it's also the mosquitoes, which you might expect sort of being wetlands, but it's amazing. It's a little island just off Victoria Point, and there is so much wildlife here. Maybe we'll see some. There's a butterfly over there. Maybe we'll see some. Rather not see the snakes though, or the spiders. No, don't do it for me, snakes and spiders. I'll just accept that they're here.
So we now have another fascinating fun fact for you while we're walking through the trees.
Perhaps we should start a new YouTube channel, Alison's Fun Facts.
Yes. So this is a fun fact for a fun guy, because this is all about fungi, and trees actually do communicate with each other. And what they found is, it's a German forester found this, and he wrote a book, I think in about 2018 or something, that's a sensation. And what they found was that the roots of trees, when you get down to the tiny roots, and they have filaments, rather like our lungs, where they go smaller and smaller and smaller into filaments. Capillaries. But on the filaments of the tree roots, they have microscopic fungi. And it's through this fungi and these microscopic filaments that the trees entwine. And it's a whole new world, a whole city underneath the ground of where the trees interconnect, and they believe they communicate with each other. Isn't that amazing? It's actually quite, it's quite beautiful really, isn't it?
It is,
yes.
very beautiful.
Quite romantic.
Yes.
But there you go, another fun fact.
Another fun fact.
For a fun guy.
From Alison. We're coming out of the wetlands now, and this is, it looks like from the map we've got that we sort of hop onto the road here and walk along the road a bit round to the other side of the island, where there's some more picnic and barbecue areas. Hopefully we'll find the one that works and we'll be able to grab some lunch. We found the barbecue area, and just a single barbecue down by the seafront. I was going to say beach, it's not really beach around this part, it's more of just a seafront. And Alison's cooking the usual smart vegan sausages. Oh, for those of you who haven't seen our video before, these are smart vegan sausages. Why are they smart vegan sausages?
It's a square, and you can get each side done perfectly because they go over on each side. Whereas yours, you have to faff around with them to try and get each side done because they roll and they're useless. Now, whilst these are cooking, I can show you my other ingenious idea. Would you like to come and see my other ingenious idea?
Oh, yes please.
So when you're packing a barbecue, we always like to bring a beer or two to enjoy. So have a look at the view over there. Isn't that just delightful? So while we have our beers in our backpacks, the bottles tend to chang, and we can't be bothered packing cooler bags. It's just too much hassle. So just a nice light bag's good. So this is what we do to keep our bottles protected. Here we go. It's a lovely sock, and it stops them from banging to each other. So you just pull it down like this, pull off your top, like so. Keep rolling it down, and you have your own little stubby holder. So I've shown you my stubby holder now that I have here. So I'm going to make my fortune on Amazon. I think I'm going to patent this idea, and I'm going to have a cover that removes the removes the little heel area here, and maybe comes in brighter and more sophisticated colours, and actually keeps the bottles warm, so a little bit thicker or more insulated.
So made of neoprene.
I don't know what neoprene is, but
it's that spongy, foamy type.
Oh yes,
insulating material. Yes.
That would then fall down.
I think you can already buy those. I think you've now just described something that you can actually already buy.
Darn. Cheers then.
Well, that's lunch over. Just realised what the time is though, so we've still got half the island to go round, so we're going to have to go around fairly quickly to get the ferry back and then drive back home before it gets too late. But it's been so beautiful that we've just taken our time strolling and chatting and taking pictures, and We've just put the drone up, so hopefully that's come out okay. I'll put that in the video if it's come out okay. So okay, off we go. We were going along quite nicely till we came across this hill on an island. Keep going, Al, you can do it. Keep going. We've come to a place called Morton Steps. Douglas and Mary Morton farmed on the island for 4 decades. Doug Morton built 5 jetties for the island and with his own hands constructed a 6-hole golf course on the western flats. Morton's steps led to one of Morton's jetties, which provided access and a safe haven in southerly gales. He also built a canal for the dinghy and a bathing yard reached by a causeway consisting of a corduroy of saplings and a rock section. Immediately south of here is the Isle of Coochie Golf Club. So the steps down here are where the track leads us. Actually, we all the way along this track, Coochiemudlo track, I'll show you. There are arrows, so you can't really go lost. It's sort of the arrows tell you everywhere to go. We thought we were carrying along the road here, where we've just been walking, but no, down the steps. So off we go.
Well, I thought it was going to take us. I just thought it's taking us over the edge of a cliff. It must have all been overgrown, the track. But if you could just come to the side here, you can see little steps.
Oh, there are the steps.
It looks like it leads to nowhere, but let's go down.
It must go somewhere because this is where the arrow goes. And now we're back in the wetlands area. Yeah, it does look a bit like we're sort of making up the track. It is a track though, so see where it goes. This track is taking us through the mangroves down at the water's edge. So we've come out of the mangroves and the wetlands area, and there is the next arrow. And if we have a look over here,
there's the golf club.
There's Coochie Golf Club, just like the sign said. So I don't think we've got time to check out the golf club today. We'll have to carry on the track. And as we're walking along the track here, not actually sure which way we're going, but I've got a feeling we're going back towards the mainland side of the island. But if we look down here, we can see there is the Coochie Golf Club. So for another day perhaps. Alison's just checked the map, and to absolutely nobody's surprise, I was right. We are on this path which takes us it cuts across down the, I guess as we look at the map, the left-hand side of the island from the outside back to the mainland side.
And on your shoulder.
And yeah, we're not too far back from where we started now. So off we go. Yeah. This is the main road, I suppose you could call it. I think it's called Victoria Parade, that runs down the side of the island where the jetty is. So we just walk along here now, back to the jetty. So we come to the top of the road, and we've come across this some railway carriages and a big purple cow, and a sign that says if you'd like to take a photo, if you like what you see. Fortunately, in these days of COVID, we don't actually carry any cash, which I feel terrible about. I'd love to leave something, but we just don't carry cash around at the moment. But well, what a beautiful animal sanctuary rescue type place it looks like it is. Yeah. It looks like there are some places that you can rent on the island. We're past, I didn't get a picture, but we're past some apartments for rent, and that looks like there's a rental house here if you wanted to rent this. So there are some rental properties on the island, as well as the resort. So We are back at the jetty now, just waiting for the boat to come in, just waiting for the ferry to come in to take us back. That has been a fantastic day. It's been a beautiful, just the right length around the island. It's a nice walk around, varied scenery. You're on some roads, in some mangroves, along some beach, along a bit of bushwalk. There's plenty of places, plenty of conveniences, plenty of barbecues, and yeah, it's a really good day out. I recommend it to anyone. We're back at the car park now. Got the ferry, 10-minute ferry back again. Strangely enough, the same distance and same time as it took to get over there.
Yeah.
Just the other way.
I can't stand on my heels.
So we're back. So we're back in the car park. We're back in the car park. That was, to be honest with you, that could probably, apart from the ferry, that could go up with one of the cheapy days out again, couldn't it? Because we didn't actually spend anything at all on the island.
No. Yes, so it is literally just the cost of the ferry across. That's all we spent today, and it was a beautiful day out. Recommend it to anybody.
Definitely. We'll come back again. Maybe come back in the summertime and have a go at the kayaks or something and do a bit of water sports.
Do something in the water.
Yeah.
So just to say, I love Queensland.
You can't say that.
Love you.
Yeah, you can't say that.
I can.
All right. Bye.
Bye.